Welcome, Andrew, and thank you for joining us today. I think the topic of discussion has to be around modernisation, around IBM Power. So thank you for joining us.
I would agree, James. Definitely modernisation, automation, and even getting into topics like AI, really, really important to so many people right now.
So what does modernisation mean to yourself?
So modernisation is a big term, and it basically means using any new technology or tooling that can help improve the way businesses run, their IT runs, or their applications run. So specifically around IBM Power, that can be anything from improving your management tools, bringing new capabilities to make it easier to provide self-service to end users or developers. It can be application modernization, where we're bringing containerization onto the platform, using tools like Red Hat OpenShift to manage that. Or more commonly, with a lot of our customers, it's about automation and trying to simplify the common tasks and take a lot of the strain away from the administration team. And I'm aware that automation is something that you've been heavily involved in, particularly with your new job. How do Meridian see that taking place?
So I think it's that reducing that element of risk, right? There's always an element of risk. But for me, that automation, it's that repeatable process and simplifying that, so that saying, for example, here, I've just patched your dev system. Well, I'm going to patch all your other systems in exactly the same way that you just signed off. So it's making that simplification much more simpler. It could be as simple as user profile management, patching a system. It could be even as simple as an OS upgrade, checking that are you compatible to upgrade, right? So because a lot of the upgrades on an I are fairly simple, but what catches a lot of people out are the applications that you have to monitor, right? So it's making sure that if I'm running WebSphere, will it run on 7.5? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It's then understanding how those do.
Meridian invested quite a lot in automation, particularly around Red Hat Ansible. Do you also deliver services and other capabilities on top of just the tools?
Absolutely, Andrew. So one of our goals is to enable customers to be automation ready. So yes, you've got the Galaxy that's got a lot of example playbooks out there, but it's we have to deliver service on top of those, whether that's via a workflow or a customer service use case, but we have to make it available to them in a nice, easy, consumable way.
And what are the initial use cases that you see, particularly IBM I customers, using automation for?
So I think the common one, right, has to be around patch management. Do you want to patch your system at 10 o'clock in the evening? You probably are at the moment, but how cool would it be to either schedule that patch and actually get an auto notification, whether that's via something like Teams or Slack. If I get an answer in 15 minutes, I know things are on track. If I don't, maybe I need to look at it. But, out of hours patching, still possible, but automate it and reduce the risk.
A lot of users see their power systems in isolation when actually they're part of a much bigger ecosystem within their IT estate. How do you help customers understand that?
So one of the things we do is we build, if you like, a hybrid approach in that we build application integration. So one of our USPs is to use things like REST APIs, whether it's inbound or outbound, but to make it part of their modern ecosystem. The other thing that's quite important here is the OpenShift, right? Because OpenShift, most customers we talk to, whether they realize it or not, they are a hybrid cloud. So it's about having that flexibility to say, right, do you want to run OpenShift? Because you want to expose your IBM I to the outside world and you want to integrate with it. So it's about having a platform that you can expand those two knowledges. And you have the freedom of choice. Do you want to run it on Power because you have spare capacity, or do you want to move to cloud, right? And so when we talk about cloud, what does cloud mean, right? Because cloud could be anything, could be public cloud. So again, what's your view on cloud?
So cloud, again, has become a big topic, and that has been mostly pushed out there by the public cloud providers. And that's brought a lot of really good technology and really good capabilities to everything. But the IBM viewpoint is that the world is all about hybrid cloud. It's about bringing together all of the right technologies in the right way, whether that's public cloud, whether that's on-premises cloud, private cloud, and managing all of those consistently, coming back to the consistency element of automation, but also in ways that are easier to consume, that link to things like self-service or real-time billing, so that you're paying for the resources that you're using, for the capabilities that you're providing as you're doing so. But cloud can mean so many different things to so many different people, whether it's about where your workloads are running, be that public, private, or running more traditionally on your power servers. It can be about how you consume that, whether it's infrastructure as a service, looking at the LPAR level and managing that, or whether you take it up to the platform level as platform as a service, things like Red Hat OpenShift, or even above that, software as a service. So using that reliable power platform as the basis for where you deploy a software application out to your end users, whether they're paying customers or internal users of those systems. And the great thing about the Power Platform is that we can offer all of those things in any combination, particularly thanks to the partnership with Red Hat that we have around Red Hat OpenShift, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and Red Hat Ansible that provide a huge amount of additional capabilities to the platform. And I know that's something that Meridian are heavily invested in as well. You've got a great partnership with Red Hat. Are there particular areas that you find are more valuable to your customer base?
Yeah, for me, I think the cloud pack is an interesting concept, right, for an IBMI customer, because it's about having a voice to the table. People still perceive it as an AS400, right, which we know is no longer an AS400, but it's changing that perception. So I asked several customers last week, how many people know that you can run Oracle on IBM Power? And most people put their hand up. I then asked, how many people are actually running Oracle on Power? No one in the room was running Oracle on Power. And for me, it's about empowering those users to say to their business, saying, yeah, if you want to run Oracle, no problem, let's do that. I mean, Oracle is just one example, but there are lots of many things that you can run on Power. Do you have any other examples that are of interest?
Absolutely. So for the IBMI user base in particular, who we both work with quite closely, a lot of their core applications are built on things like RPG and using the SQL implementation in the database layer. But there's so much more that can run on the platform. Things like WebSphere, whether on the IBMI platform or in containerized form with WebSphere Liberty. We also support a wide range of programming languages that will run on the Power Platform and get all the benefits people have come to expect from it. Things like .NET will run quite happily on Red Hat Enterprise Linux or within OpenShift containers. Python, JavaScript, Java itself, whether on WebSphere or not. Lots and lots of the modern languages are supported on IBM Power, and you get the benefits, the reliability, the availability, the serviceability, and the security that come with that Power Platform and the underlying hypervisor. So there's an awful lot that can be run, and I think the key is helping people understand how they get to that point. So is that something that Meridian can help with?
Absolutely, yeah. So this is one of the things that we offer to our customers, in that we can go in, we can do proof of values or proof of concepts to kind of say, okay, what do you want to achieve? Is it that you want to run OpenShift and you want to look at making your system AI ready? Is it that you want to automate some of those information? So, for example, showing them where to get started, right? For me, because modernization and automation is a journey. Right, and once you do the first part, it's a multi-phase journey, and it's understanding that this isn't an overnight switch. You're not just going to do something today and that's it. Tomorrow the problem is solved. It's understanding there is a journey here to be had, and it doesn't have to be a massive jump. It could be something simple. So it could be, for example, something as simple as VS Code. So go get VS Code, and then you open up the door. So we know that Git and IBMI is becoming very, very popular. Well, VS Code, free to download, free to go try. We know lots of people are not necessarily using it in the enterprise level, but they're using it for personal use. So the question here is why do they want to use it for personal when they should really start to try and use it within the enterprise, right? Because it's sharing those common tool sets. Very often you hear that we've got distributed teams using VS Code, but they're not on Power. But the question is, why not on Power? Because it's a modern platform, and it does open the door to say, well, we use VS Code, so can we. We use Git, so can we. Because then, again, you can use Ansible in there. Then you've got things like Ansible Lightspeed. For me, Ansible Lightspeed is a great way to get into automation, right? In that there's the free trial available, VS Code, again, it's a platform. using on non-I but I. So again, consolidating those tool sets, right? In that, we see customers saying, how do we consolidate what we use? They use a different team on non-I versus I. Well, let's play together. And for me, it's that collaboration piece in that, they're using VS Code over there. Well, use VS Code as well. Why don't you use VS Code? Is there something you don't like? Engage and ask the questions. I find more if you ask the question, they don't necessarily have the answer sometimes, or they do, but it's they then go and ask and challenge the question to say, why are we not doing VS Code ourselves? So things like VS Code opens the door for me, things like Ansible Lightspeed, right? And the big question around here, right, is the AI capability, right? AI is such a big open topic at the moment. Where do you get started with AI when it comes to power, right? And for me, I think that the Lightspeed sets a kind of a base precedence that you can kind of look at. And what's your thoughts on Lightspeed?
I think Ansible Lightspeed using the What's Next code assistant behind the scenes is hugely valuable to pretty much every systems administrator out there. If you're building automation using tools like Ansible Automation Platform, having the AI smarts to support you and to provide additional benefits as you're building your complicated playbooks, building up your automation pipelines, you get so much more from the platform. It will save you time, it will save you effort, and it will improve the consistency of the approach that you're taking. And AI is another huge topic. We're covering all of them today. And getting to AI is, again, a journey. And I think one of the great things that we can offer as IBM and Meridian is to help set out that roadmap for IBM I users, for AIX users, for Linux users on Power, to show them what steps they can take with us to get to that intended destination, whether that's a fully automated private cloud, whether that's embedding AI in their applications, or whether that's modernizing their mission-critical business applications using tools like Merlin to help modernize the RPG code on their systems. Working together and collectively, we can deliver all of that. And I think that is testament to the value that you can get from working with the right partners. So where we've got IBM Power users who are looking to start their journey to modernization, automation, and AI, what are the next steps they should take?
So the next step should be reach out to Meridian. So follow us on LinkedIn. We're publishing lots of great content around there at the moment. Or reach out to myself. Or if you're an existing customer, reach out to your client director. Let's get engaged. Let's get on that journey to modernization.